Welcome to the deep dive. Grab a seat, and thanks for bringing us this stack of sources, some really fascinating news articles and notes on recent AI developments.
Yeah, great stuff here. Our mission today really is just to dive into these updates, sort of cut through the noise and pull out the absolute most important nuggets and, surprising facts.
Exactly. We want to get to what's truly interesting and relevant for you from this match.
We're taking a look at how fast AI is showing up in, well, places you might not expect.
Right, and facing some pretty significant challenges. Big stuff like protecting ideas and navigating privacy.
And seeing what the real-world implications are across different industries. It's a real cross-section of where AI is right now.
Definitely. Let's unpack it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's kick things off with something that sounds, well, kind of wild on paper. We're talking OpenAI, the company at the forefront of cutting-edge AI, teaming up with,
Mattel,
yeah, Mattel.
the Barbie company.
Exactly.
What's immediately striking here, I think, is this is a first for OpenAI. They've done deals with publishers, big enterprise companies,
Sure.
but never a toy maker. It shows how serious they are about weaving AI into, well, every kind of industry imaginable.
And it's clearly a big move for Mattel, too, right? Especially riding the wave of that huge Barbie movie success.
Oh, absolutely. They're really positioning themselves as an entertainment giant now, not just toys.
Yeah, thinking films for Hot Wheels, Polly Pocket, Barney, Masters of the Universe, plus TV, and they're even dipping their toes into self-published digital gaming, I think maybe next year.
2026, yeah. So the stated goal for this unlikely duo is to enhance fan engagement in a safe, thoughtful, and responsible way.
Which sounds good. They're putting a heavy emphasis right up front on safety, privacy, security.
Which feels pretty crucial when you're talking about toys, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They expect to actually show us their first AI-powered product later this year.
And Mattel's chief franchise officer, Josh Silverman, he hinted it will span both physical products and some experiences.
Right, and here's a key detail from the sources. I thought this was interesting. Mattel is explicitly keeping control of its IP.
Ah.
They are not licensing their characters or worlds to OpenAI.
That point about the IP is fascinating. It tells us Mattel sees OpenAI as a tool maker, maybe?
Yeah.
To augment their existing valuable franchises.
Yeah, rather than a partner they're handing the keys to.
Exactly. It really highlights how intellectual property remains paramount, even in these cutting-edge AI collaborations.
Right. And beyond the consumer product, Mattel is also going to roll out OpenAI tools like ChatGPT Enterprise internally.
For their own employees.
Yeah, for product development, creative brainstorming, that kind of thing.
It makes you wonder, though, what is this product? Is it like a Barbie you can chat with about, well, anything?
Or something else entirely, something that uses AI to create new play scenarios. How do you reimagine new forms of play with generative AI? It's intriguing.
It really pushes the boundary of how we think about AI's reach. I mean, when it's going into kids' products, entertainment franchises, it tells you this technology is truly pervasive and aiming for, like, mass market integration.
So it asks you, how might your interaction with your favorite brands or characters change when AI gets involved?
It's a big question. Okay, speaking of areas where AI is pushing boundaries and creating intense value, let's pivot. Completely different arena, the courtroom.
Yes. This next piece of news involves Tesla suing a former engineer.
Right. This is about the high-stakes world of humanoid robotics. Tesla's core accusation is that this engineer, Zhongji Jieli, stole trade secrets, specifically connected to their Optimus humanoid robot program.
And the specifics are really interesting. They allege she stole information about the development of advanced robotic hand sensors.
Yeah, I mean, think about how crucial realistic, dexterous hands are for a robot that's meant to interact with the world.
Totally. According to the lawsuit details in these sources, the alleged method was pretty straightforward, but seemingly effective, downloading confidential info onto 2 personal smartphones before he left.
But the timeline around this, get this, it's almost unbelievable. The sources note that in his final months at Tesla, Lai was researching humanoid robotic hands on his work computer. Okay. And looking into venture capital and startup funding sources.
So connecting the dots.
Well then, less than a week after leaving Tesla, his own startup, Perception, was incorporated.
Wow, less than a week.
And what's really got Tesla's attention is that within just 5 months of leaving, Perception claimed they had successfully built advanced humanoid robotic hands.
5 months. That's
Yeah.
incredibly fast.
Right. And Tesla says these hands bear a striking resemblance to the designs Lai was actually working on while he was there.
Okay, that does sound suspicious.
Perception's goal, according to their own statements, is pretty ambitious too. To revolutionize human-robot interaction by building the world's most advanced humanoid hands.
Big talk. And this is all happening while Tesla's Optimus program itself is, well, still developing, right?
Exactly. It was unveiled back in 2021. It missed its 2023 target. Elon Musk recently mentioned sales might start in 2026.
Right. And even at that event last October, the demos still relied quite a bit on off-site human control, didn't they?
They did. So the race for functional humanoid robotics is clearly still very much on, and perhaps facing technical hurdles that make any stolen progress, incredibly valuable.
This lawsuit just screams high-stakes competition. It shows just how intense the race is in these cutting-edge fields like humanoid robotics.
Absolutely. And honestly, how difficult it is for companies to protect their most valuable innovations when key people walk out the door with knowledge in their heads.
And allegedly on their phones.
Right. For you, this highlights the incredible value and the vulnerability of intellectual property in this age of rapid AI advancement.
Definitely something to watch.
Okay, let's shift gears again, this time to a different kind of challenge AI is creating: misuse, specifically on large social platforms.
Yeah, we're looking at news about Meta suing the company behind an AI app called Crush AI.
Ah, yes. This is about those generative AI apps that create fake, non-consensual, sexually explicit images, often called nudifying photos.
Right, Crush AI is one of them.
So the lawsuit alleges that Joy Timeline HK, the company making Crush AI, ran thousands of ads for this app on Meta's platform.
Okay.
And critically actively tried to evade Meta's ad review systems. The system's designed to stop this kind of content.
And the scale they reportedly managed to achieve is, well, it's pretty shocking. The sources mention over 8,000 ads ran just in the first 2 weeks of 2025.
8,000 in 2 weeks. Wow.
Plus, reports indicate about 90% of the traffic to Crush AI's websites was coming directly from Facebook or Instagram.
So that shows the platform problem is significant. They were really leveraging Meta to drive users.
Hugely. And the alleged methods of evasion are like a playbook for bad actors, it seems.
How so?
Setting up dozens of advertiser accounts to spread the risk, constantly changing domain names to avoid getting blocked.
Standard evasion tactics.
Yeah, using incredibly obvious account names like eraser anyone's clothes plus numbers.
That blatant?
Apparently. And even just having a Facebook page openly promoting the service.
Okay, so not exactly subtle then.
Not entirely. And as the sources point out, this isn't just a Meta issue. We've seen links and ads for similar services pop up on X, Reddit, YouTube too.
Right, it's a problem across the major social media landscape. So what's Meta doing besides the lawsuit?
Well, they detail several ways they're fighting back. They've developed new tech specifically to spot these ads, even if the ad itself doesn't contain nudity.
So looking for patterns or keywords.
Presumably. They're using matching technology to find copycats quickly, expanding their lists of flag terms, phrases, even specific emojis used to promote this stuff.
Okay, so updating their filters constantly.
And they're also disrupting entire networks of these bad actor accounts.
Yeah.
They say they've taken down 4 such networks since January alone.
That network approach seems important, going after the infrastructure.
Seems like it. And on top of that, they're collaborating externally, sharing info about these services through the Tech Coalition's Lantern program.
Right, the one focused on preventing child sexual exploitation online.
Exactly. They've shared over 3,800 unique URLs through that program since March.
Good. And they also note they're supporting legislation, like the U.S. Take It Down Act, and working with lawmakers.
Yeah. This whole example is a really stark illustration, I think, of the constant arms race social media platforms are in to moderate harmful AI content.
Definitely. It shows that combating it requires multiple strategies. You need the tech detection, the network disruption, external collaboration.
And even legal action and supporting legislation. For you listening, this highlights the sheer scale of the moderation challenge AI presents and the varied efforts needed to just try and keep up.
It's a massive task. Okay, final piece here. Another challenge involving Meta, but this time it's about user interface design and, frankly, a privacy disaster.
Oh yeah, this is regarding their standalone Meta AI app.
Yeah, this story is pretty wild. The core issue is that users are unintentionally making their private conversations with the Meta AI chatbot public. Like, really public.
Unintentionally is the key word here, right? The sources describe a share button that leads to a preview screen.
Mm-hmm. But the design apparently isn't making it clear to users that hitting publish on that screen is taking their entire chat history with the AI and posting it publicly.
Which is not what you'd expect from a chatbot conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And the examples of what people are unknowingly sharing are, well, they're incredibly personal and sometimes just bizarre.
Yeah, the list is something else. Queries about why some farts stink more.
Okay.
Asking for help with tax evasion.
Yeah.
Questions about how close family members are to white-collar crimes.
Yikes.
Asking for help writing character references for people facing legal trouble, including their names. Sharing home addresses, sensitive court details, prompts for utterly strange AI images like Mark Zuckerberg pregnant marrying a bug, Goku celebrating Russia Day, or Mario getting a divorce.
That's quite the imagination being shared publicly.
Right, people sharing health questions like red bumps on inner thigh, asking the AI to post their phone numbers to find dates.
No.
Sharing resumes for jobs, and even asking for instructions on how to make a water bottle bong. It's all out there. It's a privacy nightmare. Because, as the sources point out, Meta reportedly isn't making the privacy settings obvious as you post, or even clearly stating where the post is actually going.
Exactly. If the Instagram account linked to the AI app is public, then boom, your private AI chat is now a public post.
Wow. This feels like a throwback to some early internet stumbles, doesn't it?
It does. The sources compare it to AOL accidentally releasing anonymized search queries back in 2006, which was a huge privacy debacle.
I remember that. It reminds you, there's a reason Google has never tried to turn, search into a public social feed. The potential for embarrassment or worse is just too high.
Precisely. The app itself, Meta AI, has been downloaded about 6.5 million times since late April.
Which is a decent number, but maybe lower than you'd expect for a Meta app launch.
Maybe. Regardless, the situation is being widely characterized as a privacy disaster, a viral mess, and yeah, a source of public embarrassment for the company.
This story is such a powerful lesson in interface design. It shows how absolutely critical, clear, unambiguous communication about privacy is.
Especially when you're integrating AI with any kind of social or public feature.
Totally. For you, it begs the question, what are the fundamental risks when the design of a tool allows users to be completely unaware of the public nature of their interactions, especially with something they perceive as private, like a chat?
Huge risks. So, yeah. We've covered some serious ground today, thanks to the sources you shared. From AI popping up in unexpected places like toys and entertainment.
Through the intense legal battles over intellectual property and cutting-edge fields like robotics.
Then wrestling with the huge problem of AI misuse and content moderation on major platforms.
And finally, seeing how even seemingly simple design choices in an AI interface can lead to, well, a catastrophic privacy leak.
These headlines together really paint a picture of AI. Right now, it's not just a cool new tech, is it? It's a force rapidly reshaping industries.
And throwing up a whole range of complex societal and technical hurdles that, let's be honest, everyone is still figuring out how to clear.
Yeah. So when you look at the sheer speed of AI development across these different stories, enabling new forms of play, pushing robotics, challenging platforms, creating interface nightmares, and you consider the variety of problems highlighted, safety, IP protection, moderation, evasion, privacy leaks, it makes you wonder, how prepared are companies, and honestly, how prepared are we as individuals for the full spectrum of possibilities and problems that this widespread AI integration is bringing?
It's a lot to consider, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks so much for bringing these sources for us to deep dive into today.